Welcome back. So the next in the series is habit tracking off the back of the other videos. If you've not already watched the other videos, I'd go back to that. But we covered Energy Balance, we covered MyFitnessPal, which is almost like the gold standard of how to track. But this is something me and Jim have just done a podcast on. So I thought I'd cover this in a little bit more detail. So habit tracking can be a great way to improve your nutrition if you do feel a little bit overwhelmed. You're very busy, you're not wanting that overhaul approach. You don't want, not that you don't want, but you probably can't do at the moment too much. So it's great for, as I say, someone who's overwhelmed or busy, someone who kind of lacks confidence in their ability to follow through with nutrition. You know, you might have tried quite a few diets in the past, or, you know, you've just done things where you think, oh, I'm not really that confident to do this, I'm not confident to do that. Anything that we set for you guys is almost going to be one of these, how confident are you that you can follow through with it? So if you've done quite a bit of this and you can't see your way through with it, then habit tracking might be a great way to do it. Because I've had it before where I've had someone actually say to me, nutrition doesn't work for me, which is, it's silly to say, but they've drilled into themselves that much that the nutrition aspect doesn't work for them, that they don't believe that they can track all the food, increase the protein and things like that. So that's where we've got to break it down a bit. I've put quite a few of these on here. I mean, obviously this is just a tiny list. There's way more that you can do on there. But the system, like last time was MyFitnessPal, is these steps. So what we do is we work on 1, 2, 3, depending on how confident the person was, and just get them working. The client that I had before, who said nutrition doesn't work for them, I literally just got them to not track the water, but increase the water. Get one of those 500ml bottles, just keep that in the fridge, either drink it first thing in the morning or last thing at night. And what it does there is it allows the individual to build a bit of confidence in themselves. So if they're there thinking, I don't know, this nutrition thing's a minefield, I feel like I'm having to do 101 things at once, I'm already getting into the gym, I'm already having to change the fact that I'm doing exercises I don't know, I need the pressure taking off a little bit. This is where this one can be a really good one. Literally just increase your water. Can you get to bed at the same time? Fantastic. That's it. Just focus on those two. Oh, but what about the cake that I'm eating? Don't worry about the cake that you're eating right now. Focus on those two things and just keep getting it progressing. Then before you know it, you come back in. Have you been drinking that 500ml of water? Have you had a good couple of nights sleep? Yeah, fantastic. Nailed it for a week. Let's see if we can move it on to increasing your protein, getting into the gym 3 times a week, whatever it might be. There's a step-by-step approach we can take to ensure that you're moving towards your goals. And with this, it's not going to get you the quickest results. But what we've found with people who do it this way is we show them their nutrition 15, 16 weeks down the line, and they're like, I've got a result, but I don't feel like I've changed anything. I've done a few bits, but, nothing's really, I've not overhauled my life. It's not felt difficult. It's supposed to feel hard. Well, this is the thing. When you do it this way, you've got on top of your water, you've done your sleep, nice one. Next time we get some steps in, if you looked at your veg, all these things, if you did just those, that'd be quite an overhaul. But what you find is, people do these things step by step, and then at the end of 16 weeks or whatever it might be, they've got a great result, and they're like, I don't feel like I've changed anything, which means that when you ask them the question of could they do, what's next, could they do it in the longer term, then they're like, yeah, because I don't feel like I've changed anything already. So in order to continue doing this, it'd be very easy. When you find someone who does a full overhaul, like we do with our total loser groups, right, as of tomorrow, you only eat what's on this paper. And people can do that, and people find that, they'll go, oh, right, okay, well, it's only 12 weeks. I can go 12 weeks without cookies. And, they're thinking, oh, right, yeah, no, I'm doing really good. I've got my head down, but there's this end point. I don't want there to be an end point with your nutrition. There's certain times when we can tighten it up, and there's certain times where we can loosen off the reins a bit, but there always needs to be some form of either tracking or methodology in there to ensure that we're moving forward. With something like this, it's just sustainable because we're moving at your pace. It won't get you results as quick, but you don't need to worry about that back end. I've had people who go into keto. I've had people go, very elimination style diets for a amount of reasons. I've had people do Lighter Life, but there's always an idea at the back end that we're going to have to reverse our way back out of it. And when we're reversing our way back out of it, you're not particularly going to make an awful lot of progress, and psychologically that can be a bit of an issue. So if you've done something like Lighter Life, lost loads of weight, then when you start building you back up again, a lot of the time, since you're not seeing much progress, that's where it can fall apart. So you can still try these things, but if you try it on the habit front, then we can really front load all of the work. So then you just get yourself into a really good position where you're like, this feels easy. I'm on top of my sleep, I'm on top of my nutrition, I'm on top of my gym sessions. I'm training 4 times a week when before I was struggling to get in once. And it's this step-by-step approach. The method we use with this is everything that we say. So any of these habits that you want to work through, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that you can do that? It needs to be above an 8. How confident are you that you can track your food and, through MyFitnessPal, something like that? 5. All right, okay. Well, instead, how about we just do a paper food diary, or we just strip it back, make it a little bit more easy? It's the difference between going 6 days a week to twice a week. So 8 out of 10, how confident that you can do it? Can you track it, and is it measurable? There's no point going, I feel like I got more healthy fats into my diet. It's like, did you get more healthy fats into your diet? If you're not tracking it, it doesn't matter. What gets measured gets managed, and we can't just shoot in the wind. This is one thing that I've introduced recently. I used to always say do a habit for a week. One of the guys I'm working with on the nutrition education at the moment says that it has to be a minimum of 2 weeks. If you can nail it for 2 weeks, you can nail it for forever. It's all good. It's going to be more ingrained. And this one, off the back of Nonviolent Communication, a book I read recently, you can't do a don't, which is his way of saying that everything you should do, every habit you're wanting to implement should be a do. I want to get my steps up, improve my sleep, not, it shouldn't be I need to stop staying up late. It should be I need to start going to bed early. It sounds ridiculous, but the language you use around this is massive. And that's something that me and Jim covered on the podcast episode. I'm saying find it, but you might be watching this in a couple of months' time. So I think that's episode 21. It'll be called Habits. The episode's called Habits anyway. If you're interested in that, have a listen to that one. Goes into that a lot more detail, but ensure that everything that you set in, or everything we are setting, is a do, not a don't. And then that way you can actually start moving things forward. Adopt, one thing Jim mentioned to me, it's like adopt the mindset of the person you want to become. If you want to be a fitter, healthier person, ask yourself the question, what would a fitter or healthier person do regarding their sleep, their protein, the gym sessions, and that just makes it a lot easier. But this habit building is a much, much, much better way, because I think a lot of people think, well, if I can't do keto and I can't track things on MyFitnessPal, what's the point? I won't look at my nutrition at all, and that's simply not the right way to do it.